In this video, everybody, I'm going over the latest news surrounding your third stimulus check, the fourth stimulus check, and an increase in your social security benefits. So everybody, be sure to stay until the end of this video to never miss out on the latest news surrounding your stimulus checks, and of course your social security benefits. And if you guys agree that social security benefits must be raised by $200 a month, then let's get this video to 1,000 likes. So the big question is, when will Congress finally pass the fourth stimulus check? Will Americans receive a one-time stimulus payment or recurring monthly stimulus checks? Well, everybody, so far stimulus checks have given about $150 billion in financial support to millions of Americans over the past year. But it is still very clear that millions of Americans still need help to survive during this crisis. In March 2021, the national unemployment level of the United States stood at about 9.71 million. Now this Thursday, the US Labor Department said the number of Americans applying for unemployment benefits has decreased last week to only 576,000. Many economists are pressuring lawmakers and Congress into including a fourth round of stimulus checks into Joe Biden's new infrastructure plan. A total of 16.9 million people are still collecting unemployment benefits right now. Some say that another stimulus check would deter Americans from going back to work. But what are your thoughts on this, everybody? Do you believe that we should get a fourth stimulus check of $2,000 a month? Or do you believe that a stimulus check might deter Americans from going back to work? Tell me your thoughts, everybody, on the fourth stimulus check in the comments. Now, the government has already sent out about $376 billion worth of third stimulus payments. And multiple economists said that we need at least one more check. New surveys have even shown that most Americans plan to use their $400 check on monthly expenses, day-to-day essentials, paying down debt, and even savings. The majority of respondents to a recent survey say that the stimulus money will last less than 3 months, if that long. And the third stimulus payments have reportedly kept 11 million people out of poverty this year. Then new expanded unemployment benefits will also help keep less than 4 million people from going into poverty. A recent report also stated that evidence from last year shows that stimulus checks are the fastest and most impactful investments in helping Americans get through this crisis. But everybody, the crisis is far from over. That is why lawmakers must take immediate action to provide additional relief to Americans. I'm happy, everybody, that more and more lawmakers are coming forward in support of another stimulus payment for Americans like you and I. But unfortunately, millions of households are far from where they started last year. Over 10 million people have fallen behind in the rent, including 21% of renters with children in their household. Millions of more people are struggling to pay their mortgage. Close to 30% of adults reported some difficulty keeping up with expenses. Now everybody, here's what we have to know about your social security benefits. Now folks, Senate Democrats have also unveiled a plan to increase monthly social security benefits, veterans assistance, and supplemental security income benefits by $200 a month, which could further add to a stimulus bill that is now estimated to cost between $1.3 trillion and $1.4 trillion. Now, Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer and Senator Elizabeth Warren in calling for expanded benefits to be added to the Phase 3 stimulus bill. The additional benefits, which will last through the end of 2021, would give seniors, veterans, and people with disabilities an extra $4,000 over the next 2 years. Elizabeth Warren said increasing Social Security benefits would get money directly to millions of people quickly. And there's also a new bill called the Emergency Social Security Benefits Improvement Act. Although this bill hasn't been approved, it will provide a 2% across-the-board increase in Social Security benefits for 64 million people, increase the threshold for the special minimum benefit to 125% of the federal poverty level, and reduce taxes on benefits for low and middle-income individuals and families. Chuck Schumer said in a statement that immediately increasing Social Security benefits would put money in the pockets of seniors, veterans, and people with disabilities during these uncertain times.
Getting it done for me. And auto sales are up 15%. Things are moving. These checks are providing a heck of a lot of needed relief for families and in turn needed support for our economic recovery. And today's news comes on top of the recent news that we created 900,000 jobs in the month of March. First 2 months of our administration, we've created more jobs than the first 2 months of any administration in American history. And again, I'm not being solicitous because of you all. I really mean it, the way you fought like the devil. You really did to get that package passed. I mean, it really did. And I want to thank the members for supporting the American Rescue Plan. And we still have a long way to go. We're 8 million jobs down from what it was more than before the pandemic began. But America's coming back. And with regard to, I want to express my gratitude to the group we have here today from the House. representing this caucus, which represents vital communities and very diverse communities within the Asian American, Hawaiian, and Native Hawaiian and Pacific Islanders community. What I think most people don't realize is just how diverse it is, how broad it is, how many different dialects, languages, and the like are spoken, which is part of what we have to deal with and solve. And we need to stand with the AAPI community and the whole government response with what we have to get done. When I came into office, the first bill I signed related to racial equity throughout the government. That's still the plan. That's my objective. And Kamala and I are heartened by the Senate's overwhelming bipartisan effort yesterday, Senator, for a passage of the Hate Crimes Act. That's a big deal. I mean, it was really close, only, what, 98 votes? I tell you what.
It was really nice.
Well, it was. Now, I thought it was going to pass, but my Lord, I tell you, and we took a vote here in the administration. You're going to handle the jobs bill. Because anybody can get 98 votes for anything. So anyway, I'm looking forward to our discussion with the caucus, and I just want to thank you all for being here, and thank you for coming in, press. Folks, I'm going to be speaking to Russia and my conversation with President Putin shortly after this meeting is over. You'll be notified of that, and I'll be happy to talk to you then, okay?
Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome back. I'm very, very proud of the House Democrats for how they presented the rescue plan to their constituents over this period of the Easter Passover break, but also our committee work period in the past few weeks. This plan is, as is described by its title, a rescue. But it can only rescue if people know how it meets their needs. So we had nearly 100 teach-ins last week across the country so that people could see how they could avail themselves of the benefits of the rescue plan. And that will continue, that continues. I myself participated in Chinatown, where I went to the Northeastern Medical Services place where I saw culturally appropriate, linguistically clear.
And don't forget to subscribe to my channel, turn on post notifications, and give this video a like.